Good morning, students of class 10. Today I am going to start your third chapter from your book, First Flight. And after completing first part, his first flight, I am going to summarize the second part of this chapter, the black aeroplane. It was a very clear night without clouds. The moon and stars were shining. The writer was happy. He wanted to fly alone in the sky. In this chapter, narrator is going to his home using his aeroplane. It was 1:30 in the morning. The writer was in his old Dakota aeroplane. He was flying over France, going to England. He switched on the radio and spoke to Paris control. He informed them that he was on his way to England. After taking to them, he turned his plane. When he talked with Paris control, who instructed him to turn his plane 12 degrees west towards England, he was thinking of taking breakfast at his home in the morning. All was going well, but all of a sudden he saw a storm just before him. The clouds were looking like a huge black mountain. He observed it in the sky in front of him. Paris was about 150 kilometers away. He couldn't move towards north or south to escape the storm. That's why, because he had not enough fuel to take another path. That's why he decided to take the risk, to take a chance, and started to fly through the storm. As he wanted to go back to his home to have big English breakfast, that's why he decided that he would take risk when he was in the middle of the storm. It became so dark that he could see nothing. He tried to take the help of different instruments, but all of them were dead. His radio, his compass, everything. He had no sufficient fuel as he had switched on his last fuel tank. His compass was revolving round and the radio was dead. He felt helpless. Now he was repenting his decision, regretting about his decision. Suddenly he saw another aeroplane. The plane had no lights on its wings, but he could see the plane just before him. He could see the face of the pilot. He was so able. He was so happy to see another person in this dark storm. The other pilot wanted to help him and asked the narrator to follow him. And the narrator followed him like an obedient child, having no option. After that, the narrator followed that plane for half an hour. There was not enough fuel left in his old Dakota's last fuel tank, but he kept following the plane. All of a sudden, the plane of the writer was out of the clouds. When he came out of that cloud, he was so happy to see two straight line of lights before him. It was a runway. It was an airport. The writer was now safe. He turned to see his friend in his black aeroplane. There was nothing. The black aeroplane had gone. He could not find it anywhere. The writer landed near the control tower and went to the woman who was sitting and asked about the other pilot. The woman was amazed. According to the woman, only one plane was seen on the sky that night on the radar. No other plane was in the sky. That's why the woman looked at him in surprise. She laughed at him and told him that only his aeroplane was visible on the radar. He was now wondering as who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm and even without lights. This is the summary of this lesson. But the big question is, who was the pilot? It is said that whenever in adverse condition, if we imagine anything, it appears that it is happening really. In my opinion, no any aeroplane was flying, but as writer was depressed, as he was thinking help from other person, that's why he imagined that there was another aeroplane. It is very possible that when he entered into the black cloud and came out of that cloud, fortunately, he saw runway in front of him and landed safely. But he thought as if another aeroplane was, the pilot of that aeroplane was helping him. But when he consulted to the woman who was sitting in the control tower, she not only laughed but also told him that on the radar she observed only his aeroplane because no other aeroplane was seen on the radar. That's why the narrator, although narrator felt help from other aeroplane, but in reality there was no any other aeroplane who helped the narrator. This is the summary of this chapter. Thanking all of you. Have a nice day.